exciting times at Centerville. We are growing, and that means expanding our ministries, looking for new initiatives to continue to grow as a congregation and to reach the world around us. We want to be relentless. Centerville has the calling in such a time as this to be an evangelism center, mobilizing us to be laborers and reaching the lost. That's also impacted our thinking about the worship services. So you've heard, next week, April 13th, we're going to transition to a 9 a.m. first service, a 10:20 Sabbath school, and an 11:30 second service. What that does is provides more opportunity to invite people. The thinking is, some of us will be able to slide into first service, but we'll also be able to invite more people. This is the prayer. We just want to be intentional to reach the world around us. The changes in the worship times have been prayed through, but that doesn't mean we don't want to keep evaluating. So share your perspectives and keep letting us know how it seems and what you're seeing. There are other changes that you've noticed over the past year. Those were intentional. We've included an Each One Reach One every Sabbath with stories and pointers on how to make a difference in the world around us. You've heard from some of our friends on how they're doing it. The idea is inspiration and instruction, that they can give us ideas on how we too can make a difference. Beloved, we want to be relentless for this in reaching the world around us. One of the questions I get about the change in the worship service with the offering going at the end is, why that? The idea, the prayerful thinking behind that, with the worship team, our worship committee, was if the worship is at the end, it provides an opportunity for the preacher every week to make an appeal with our Connect cards. We've got a new and improved Connect card sitting in every pew. And we can make an appeal for sharing prayer requests, an appeal for being involved in the church, an appeal to accept Jesus or to decide for baptism. Just this last week, we heard a story about a former Adventist who's been out of the church for decades, is sliding into our worship service and has reconnected with Jesus. That's what we want to be about. Having that Connect card at the end, and then the offering plates not only collect our tithes and our offerings, but they collect the Connect card. And it's an intentional way that we can reach then some of these people and our own church family as we become more involved or as we share our prayer requests. It's the intentionality. The church manual, interestingly enough, it says there's no set liturgy, but it needs to be simple and it needs to be intentional. And we took that and prayed over it. And that's where we've come. We're continuing to pray and find ways that we can continue to honor God. There are two principles that we are determined to make the priorities. One is that in that sacred act of worship, we will always honor God and uplift Him. And secondly, that we will be all about reaching people through our worship service. Our worship service is our most regular, consistent evangelistic initiative. There are many other powerful ways to reach the community. We've got an evangelistic series coming up right next week. But our Sabbath morning provides an opportunity where we can invite friends and relatives every week to come meet Jesus. We want to, again, be intentional about those two priorities in that sacred act, honoring God and reaching others.